What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745 and today we're going to finish Spec Ops 27. That's right, by the end of this video, Ultimate Spider-Man will be ours. But between now and then we're going to have a few epic boss fights and more, so stay tuned. We of course begin where we last left off with the final research, and that was for the Vigilante Mask. This mask is the only full-fledged piece of the Arachnid set. That is, that we got from research. So besides that, we also get 200 experience, and we can move on to task number 22. For this one, you're going to have to equip the Vigilante Mask, the Fleeting Foil, and the Combat Sensor. Then go ahead and use these items together in combat, and you should get credit for the task. For this battle, I'm actually going to use one of our favorite current team-ups, and that's Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. Another really cool thing about this is the Vigilante Mask is a quick action, and after using that, you'll see that the Combat Sensor actually works really well with Kate and Clint. That's because this gadget places target focus and pinpoint target on one enemy. If you're not aware, the Hawkeyes basically work off of pinpoint target. In fact, we're going to use Clint's level 9 to place that same debuff on the other enemy. And now both of them are set up to be taken down. Because of their follow-ups and preemptive attacks, this team is very lethal. So before you know it, both of these enemies will be down and we'll get credit for our task. Yup, that's pretty much how it works. So there's the Hawkeyes in action once again. I'll admit, I got so caught up in their amazingness that I forgot there's another wave. And we also have to use the Fleeting Foil. We're making sure to use all the items just in case, even though we may have only had to equip them. Someone can confirm that either way in the comment section below. It would be greatly appreciated. And hey, even though we have two more enemies, they're both almost dead. In fact, one's down, and the final one will be taken out by Kate's level 9. The Kree Composite Soul Bow. So that's it, and with it, task number 22 will be done. By the way, I'm kind of ashamed, but we stopped leveling Kate, so she's only at level 12, but I've been really busy. Either way, we'll finish leveling her in a few days. I might as well take her in with Ultimate Spidey after we're done. That's one great thing about 2 training bays. But moving on to task number 23, we now have to defeat Dr Octopus in Mission 3. He's going to be the end boss. And depending on how many mini-bosses you take out, it will be him and the rest of the Sinister Six. The Force team-up is with Superior Spider-Man, and this battle can be very difficult, especially if you're taking on all of the Sinister Six, which is what we're going to do. What I would recommend is use plenty of items. For example, we're going to use Tactical Strike on my agent. And then another absolute lifesaver is to bring in Iron Fist. The reason for this is because he's going to prevent debuffs, and the Sinister Six can put some very nasty debuffs on your team, including Despair and Depower. I can't even tell you how annoying it was running this battle without Iron Fist. It was doable, but you have to use a lot of items. And then Despair and Depower get very annoying. You can save yourself a lot of trouble if you just have a way to prevent debuffs. Another option would be Invisible Woman, or you could try to depower the enemies as well. If you have them, you could even bring in the Age of Ultron Thor, but that's not going to help out Superior Spider-Man. When I originally ran this, I used regular Spidey, well, in his symbiote costume, and we won, but Spidey got taken out. So that gives you an idea of how these enemies don't play around, especially Kraven. Man, I hate that guy. In the game. I love him outside of the game, and I even had my hunter named after him in World of Warcraft. But anyways, trying to focus on this battle, it is a very long encounter, even sped up. The Sinister Six help each other out and work very well together. So I do have to say it's well done. But that certainly doesn't help us out. Like I said though, preventing debuffs makes a huge difference. The battle becomes much more tame once you eliminate that factor. You do still have to watch out, especially because they get so many turns. And in the final battle, they'll just be attacking like crazy, non-stop. It doesn't even matter if it shows they have a turn or not, they get a turn. It's part of the whole Sinister Six thing. So just be prepared, keep yourself healed up at all times. And you could even bring in something like the magnetic field generator to give you a shield barrier. Also remember, if you're having too much trouble, you can fight some of the mini bosses and take them out of this final encounter. Yes, it will cost you resources, but so does starting this fight and then losing. So save yourself some trouble and just beat a few of the mini bosses on their own. If you don't have to do it that way, that's phenomenal. You should be proud. And you've saved some unstable ISO-8. But in this final wave, pay attention to all the turns that will come out of nowhere. So there goes Lizard, who will put a lot of bleeds on you if you're not immune to debuffs. Then Doc Ock just takes a turn as well. Now I have to say, I was worried about them getting a bunch of turns before ours. And most importantly, before Iron Fist could refresh or prevent debuffs. So as soon as I got a chance, I gave him some turns, and we used Praying Lotus. Now we feel much safer, our team's at full health, and we got our stamina back. So my team, and especially my agent's ready to go. Since Lizard is close to death, we'll finish him off with a retractable claw. Then yes, we have to make it through a few more enemy attacks, but we do have our counters going. And by the way, those counters can actually take your agent down really quickly, if he's affected with bleed, which like I said, the Lizard will put on you. That's another reason why prevent debuffs is pretty essential. Or I suppose you don't have to use a bunch of counters, but you know I love counterattacks myself. Now with only Doc Ock remaining, I do have to say he's quite annoying, mainly because he takes such little damage from counters and follow-ups. So sometimes I do use items on him like a present that does a few thousand damage, and it's very simple as long as you have those items. You could also set him up with bleeds because he does attack quite a bit. So use your open wounds from Superior Spider-Man. Other than that, and dots, just keep pecking away at him, and eventually he will go down. In this case, I'm kinda setting him up for an Atom Smasher finish, so the fight shouldn't be too much longer. Just one more attack from Superior Spidey, and then my agent should end it. Following this, we're only going to have two more tasks, and you probably could guess what they are. The Spec Ops formula remains pretty close to the same. It's going to be 3 stars of mastery in all Spec Ops missions. So here's task number 22 completed, and for that we got 200 experience. Then task number 24, complete 3 stars of mastery in all Spec Ops 27 missions. This may take you a bit of extra unstable ISO-8, but once you finish, you will get 5,000 silver. Then you can move on to task number 25. For this one you have to fight and defeat the epic boss Green Goblin, and he appears in Spec Ops 27 Mission 3. In order to get him to appear, you have to deploy the following characters. Angela, she costs 135 CP. Kazar, he'll cost you 200 CP. And Mr. Fantastic, his cost is 33 CP. Once you complete all the deploys and all the threats including the end boss battle, then the Green Goblin will appear on your map. The team up for this fight will be with the Spec Ops reward hero Ultimate Spider-Man. And of course we had to bring in regular Spidey as well. I mean, who else would we want with us to fight the Green Goblin? It just had to be Spidey, and the Bruiser Black Suit costume works perfectly against the Scrapper Green Goblin. In fact, he's almost already gone and our first counter is definitely going to end this. So right after Ultimate Spidey takes a hit, the epic boss is going to use an AoE attack and he'll be countered to death by our agent. The fight is very anticlimactic, especially after fighting the Sinister Six. But still, the most important part is task number 25 has been completed. At this point, congratulations, you've completed Spec Ops 27, aka the Spidey Ops, Part 1. And with that, we'll go ahead and check out Ultimate Spidey's recruitment animation and dialogue. So there he is, Miles Morales himself, and now we only need the Lockbox character and Deathlock. With any luck, we'll hopefully recruit both of those characters later this week. But as for Ultimate Spider-Man, we're going to check him out in action in our very next video. So following this dialogue, we're going to wrap up our final part to the task list. And then I want to invite everyone to stay tuned for our very next video, Ultimate Spider-Man Unwebbed. Thank you to Matthew for our amazing graphic, and thank you everyone for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.